with the Great Pyramid constructed and the building of a city to defend it begun, it was crucial for the Lizardmen to find a steady source of food for their army. So it was that Nachok, newly arrived skink priest and master of the lore of beasts, was sent along to secure hunting grounds. In the hills north of the pyramid they found a great dense forest filled with creatures the likes of which the Lizardmen had never seen. Nachok ordered his followers to begin hunting and gather as much food as they could before their return. Soon the forest was filled with the sounds of the contest between predator and prey. But unbeknownst to Nachok, this forest had greater predators than those he had brought with him, for this was the birthed forest of Brejik, and the Bray shaman would not accept intruders lightly. So, given the setup we got for terrain, obviously this was a ruined village within the dense forest somewhere that the Beastmen and the Lizardmen end up coming across each other. This is going to be a pretty standard battle line. The one difference is that I am trying to earn the Jaguar standard. And to do that, that box shape in the middle of the board is a charnel pit. And I have to end the game with a unit with a banner in it within 6 inches of that to end up unlocking that banner. So other than that, it's just going to be a straight battle line. So we'll go ahead and get into deployment. So first we have 3 Minotaurs with the Mark of Khorne and additional hand weapons in full command. Then there's a unit of 30 normal Gores, Mark of Khorne, additional hand weapon, full command, and with them is a Wargore battle standard bearer. Then we've got a unit of 10 Ungor Raiders, and a unit, I believe that's 15 Bestigors, and with them is Brejik, the level 2 Bray Shaman, Lore of the Wild. Then for the Lizardmen, I have a unit of 5 Cold One Riders. With them is a Cowboy Scarvet on a Cold One. He has the 1-up armor save, rerollable armor, and he has a spear on him. Then on the other side of that building, you see a Salamander crew and a unit of Jungle Swarm. Then I have the Fangs of Gorokoth, my 24 Saurus warriors with full command, and they have always strikes first because they're a regiment of renown. With them is Gorokoth with my standard Stegodon helm build with him. Alone by himself behind the tower, which is a wizard's tower, is Nachok, my level 2 Lore of Beastcaster. Then I've got a Bastillodon and a unit of 12 Skink Skirmishers with Javelins. So I get the first turn. I want to push up a little bit. I'm thinking that the Beastmen are probably going to come meet me in the middle, so I want to not get too overextended. I don't want to give him easy charges, but I want to be able to kind of respond to what he's doing. So I pretty much just move up solid here. Only other thing I do on this side is Nachok goes into the Wizard's Tower. Now over here I come up a little more aggressively because of the Charnel Pit. Due to their last loss, the Beastmen are at -1 leadership from low morale. And the Charnel Pit will add an additional -1, so if I can get the Bestigor to come and just take shooting wounds off of them, I may be able to break them, and that frankly sounds like a much easier way to deal with them rather than have to go into combat. So during magic phase, I do manage to get the Curse of Honor here off on his big Gore herd, so if he moves, or if he marches them or charges anything, they're going to be taking dangerous terrain tests. And that's good because I don't want him to be able to move up as a solid unit. I want him to kind of extend something forward that I can deal with so I can break him up piecemeal. So with nothing else in range, we go into Beastman turn. I think I shot the little Ungor unit, so I killed one of them from the looks of it. But Bestigor come up around the building. He wants to get an easy charge, so I'm willing to let him come. That's pretty much all he moved. So he goes into shooting. The Ungor Raiders take shots at the Skinks and kill one of them. So we're 1 for 1 at this point. So we go into my turn. Bastillodon tries to charge the Bestigors, hoping that they would break. They don't break. I fail the charge because I needed a 11 or 12. And I stand where I'm at, and then the skinks pull back because I don't want to give him easy charges there. And everything else comes forward. I have moved the salamander and the swarm a little forward of everything else except for the source block, hoping that I can frenzy bait him into charging. And they're even with each other, so if he does charge the salamander, he's going to have to hit the swarm too and essentially charge both units. And I'm okay with that. I figure just the number of attacks poison, I might be able to put a hurting on the minotaurs, or at least weaken them up a little bit. I know they're not going to kill him. So I don't remember what spell. I got a debuff on these guys, but that was it. We go into Beastmen turn, and the Bestigors land a pretty good charge into the Bastiladon. So I stood and shot. I think I killed one Bestigor on the stand and shoot, but that's still a lot of guys in there. But the way it works, because of how he had to maximize to me, Brejik is right up next to me, so I'm definitely going to go for him. And the Minotaurs did land the charge I was expecting into the Salamander and the Jungle Swarms, so they're there. And this is perfect for me because the Minotaurs don't overrun for crap because they only get the D6, and I'm still going to be able to hit them with my Saurus Cav, so I'm definitely looking for that. And surprisingly, he didn't bring the Gore Herd up. I think that was a big mistake. So magic did nothing. I stopped the only spell that mattered. He tried to get Mantle of Garok off on his mage. So we go into combat, and the Salamander and the Swarms actually kill one of the Minotaur. The other two obviously whoop tail on everything, and we actually handled this wrong. I had forgotten that the Swarms are unbreakable but unstable. So the Swarm should have exploded, and he overrun to where you see him there, but we fled with him. Ultimately, it doesn't matter. Then over here we go in. I do believe I kill Brejik this turn. And the Bestigors do a lot of wounds back. It's 3 of the wounds on the Bastiladon, but I want to say I need a 4 or a 5 with no reroll, and I stick it on Cold-Blooded. So we go into my turn. I'm not really confident that the Bastiladon is going to survive, so I want to get the Skinks away from the overrun or the ability for the Bestigors to get to them, so I run them into this building. And I slam the Saurus into the Minotaurs. I did it in the right order during the game. I just took the pictures in the wrong order. And then I moved the Saurus block up to the wall, kind of daring his big Gore Herd to come get me. He's been really hesitant to use it, and I'm not entirely sure why, but if he's going to keep being hesitant, I'll move into a good position. The Skinks end up doing enough. It was either the Skinks or maybe I hit him with a Flock of Doom. Either during magic or shooting, I do enough wounds to the Gore Herd or the Ungor Raiders to panic them, and they stop within centimeters of the edge of the board. And things go bad here for the Minotaurs. He declares a challenge. My BSB accepts. My BSB kills him. Like, they go Simo. He can't get any wounds through the 1-up rerollable. And my BSB kills him, which unfortunately means that the challenge is out of the way for the next initiative to go, and the rest of my Saurus Cab kill the remaining Minotaur, and we reform into what I think is a perfect double charge range if he doesn't come for me. Then over here, amazingly, the Bastiladon goes absolutely apeshit on these Bestigor, thunderstomping like crazy. I end up just beating the hell out of them. They break. I try to pursue and do not catch them, so they are running for the hills. And then here, the Ungor, I believe they needed an 8 to get into, I don't remember which unit they charged, but he needed an 8, rolled a 7, and failed his charge, and ended up just absolutely perfect. Now, there's no chance that my Saurus Cab won't get in, and I need something like a 3 or 4 for the Spearmen to get in there. The Bestigor fail to rally and continue running. So in my turn, the Bastiladon tries to charge again. Fails to do so, but the Bestigors move another couple of inches. He didn't flee very, very far at all, but I rolled like crap and couldn't catch him. And over here, the Great Green Tide slams right into the face of this Gore herd. He's got a lot of attacks here, but I mean, it's strength 3 against toughness 4. I've got high armor on one side and a 4 up on the other. Plus, I get to strike first because the Fangs of Gorokoth have ASF. So I'm thinking I got this one in the bag. So I don't remember if this is magic or shooting, but we unload on those fleeing Bestigors and get them down to 2 guys. Now he needs double ones to rally and is almost certainly going to flee off the board next turn. Yeah, that must have been during magic, because here is the other part of magic. I end up getting Curse of Honor here off on the unit. So now not only are they totally outclassed, but now they're hitting at -1. Then comes shooting, and the skinks end up killing one of the Bestigors, so there's only the champion of that Bestigor unit left. And things go absolutely terrible for the Beastman here. He does kill 2 of the Cold One Knights and 2 of the Saurus Warriors, but I annihilated 3/4 of the unit. They needed double ones to stick, failed, and died. Then comes the part I'm kicking myself for. Because I don't have a skink priest there, I can't choose to restrain pursuit. So both of my units have to run, and it takes me outside of the 6 inches from the unit. Or 6 inches from my target, and the unit of Ungor Raiders behind that actually panics from the unit being destroyed. They flee off the table, and then at the top of his next turn, his Bestigors flee, and that's the game. Brejik brayed and screamed at his home, falling to the hands of the cursed lizards. His rage not even quelling as he sent foul wild magics into various Gore who happened to be too close. But as always, this was not the sum of it. The foul lizards were now inhabiting his place of power, and Brejik could not let this stand. Looking across the various bodies of those he had just torn apart with magic, Brejik was struck with an inspiration. If the heretics of the old world truly wished to test the might of the herd, he would allow it. No longer would he send out the many herd, but instead would send out the bull herd. And so Brejik called forth the biggest bloodkin he could find. As the Minotaur entered the tent, Brejik jumped with glee. "Ah, Brejik is pleased by this sight," he screamed, his form scrambling to find the items he was searching for. As he searched furiously, the oversized Minotaur spoke, his horror-filled mouth grinning. "Great shaman, me need nothing, only hungry, want to feed." The shaman looked at the Minotaur with eyes full of wonder. "You do this for the skull, father?" To that the Minotaur nodded, his cruel grin unchanged. Unfortunately, the Minotaur had no desire to simply follow the orders of a failing shaman, even one as cruel and bloody as Brejik. No, this Minotaur wanted to hold the reins of the herd and see the destroyed lands become his. But Brejik did not need to know that. In time, he would find out the true nature of this beast. But then again, it is said that Brejik is as cunning as he is cruel. Alright, so we got another solid victory for the Lizardmen. From looting the tower, the Skinks recovered 10 gold pieces, and for winning the game, the Lizardmen achieved inspired leadership, which means the next game the Lizardmen play in, I will have +1 leadership to every unit in the army. And so, unfortunately, another rough game for the Beastmen. They did not gain anything, though they didn't roll the low morale this time, so leadership for the Beastmen will be back to normal on their next game. Though it does sound from the story Michael's writing that there's a little bit of unrest in the Beastmen leadership, so I'll personally be interested to see where that's going. All in all, it was a pretty good game. Definitely a lot shorter than perhaps I thought it was going to be, but I had the opportunity and I took advantage of it, so I was pretty happy. Though I am just kicking myself that I let myself get outside of the range I needed to for the being near the charnel pit at the end of the game to get my Jaguar standard. So that is now the second time I've failed to get that particular standard. Maybe it's a sign I need to go without it and try something different. So we'll see. All in all, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this as much as I enjoyed playing it. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. Otherwise, we'll catch you next time. Thanks.